प्लीज़ लाइक, कमेंट एंड सब्सक्राइब माई चैनल और PDF नोट्स के लिए नीचे कमेंट सेक्शन में अपना ईमेल एड्रेस कमेंट ज़रूर कीजिए।
Agriculture and occupations. Agriculture was the main occupation in Maharashtra, and most of the population was engaged in farming. Interestingly, many farmers were also soldiers during the Maratha rule. Military campaigns were often planned around the agricultural calendar so that soldiers could return to their farms during harvest time. The economy in villages was largely self-sufficient, thanks to the Balutadar system. In this system, specific castes such as blacksmiths, carpenters, and barbers provided essential services to villagers in exchange for agricultural produce. This structure kept the village economy running smoothly. Caste system. The caste system was extremely rigid in Maharashtra at this time. Brahmins held the most power and occupied important civil and military positions. On the other hand, lower castes like the Maha, Mang, and Raoshi faced severe discrimination. These marginalized groups were often labeled as criminal castes and were subjected to harsh punishment even for minor crimes. The social structure was extremely unequal, with Brahmins enjoying special privileges, while lower castes struggled under oppressive conditions. Religion and superstition. Religion played a crucial role in the lives of the people, and society was very conservative. Rituals and superstitions were a significant part of daily life. The teachings of the Bhakti movement, particularly through kirtans and abhangas, were still influential, but the population had become more superstitious over time. Most people followed religious texts like the Puranas, but very few engaged with deeper, scholarly religious scriptures. This led to intellectual stagnation and a more rigid, superstitious approach to religion. Social structure and law. The caste-based inequalities were mirrored in the legal system. The punishments for crimes varied depending on one's caste. For instance, Brahmins received lenient sentences for offenses, while lower castes faced much harsher penalties for the same crimes. Corruption was rampant, with officials often taking bribes to manipulate the severity of punishments. Despite these oppressive systems, no significant efforts were made to challenge caste-based discrimination, which continued to dominate everyday life. Position of women. The condition of women, particularly from lower castes, was very poor. While high caste women enjoyed some level of security, most women faced harsh social conditions. Widows, prostitutes, and devadasas, temple dancers, were often exploited under the guise of religious customs. Women who were involved in adultery faced extreme punishment, with many being forced into prostitution. This reflected the overall moral and social decay, where women suffered the most from social inequalities. Rural society. Rural society was largely self-sufficient. Each village functioned almost like a village republic, with different castes providing essential services to the farming communities. The Balutadar system ensured that various occupational castes played their roles in exchange for agricultural produce. The Maha caste, though marginalized, played important roles as village watchmen and laborers. Despite their contributions, they were rarely rewarded or treated with respect. Cultural decline. Culturally, the 19th century was a period of stagnation for Maharashtra. Unlike earlier centuries, which saw the emergence of saint philosophers like Tukaram and Ramdas, there was little literary or artistic creativity during this time. The Marathi language did evolve, but it was heavily influenced by Persian and Urdu due to the Mughal presence. Some North Indian cultural practices, like the festival of Rang Panchami, were introduced by the Marathas, but overall, the frequent wars and conflicts stifled cultural growth. Impact of Western ideas. By the mid-19th century, Western ideas started to influence urban centers like Pune, Nasik, and Bombay. The British brought modern education, and Jesuit missionaries along the western coast also introduced new ideas, especially to the educated elite. This marked the beginning of a shift towards progressive thinking, although most of the rural areas remained largely unaffected by these changes. Traditional beliefs and practices continued to dominate the lives of the majority. Conclusion. In conclusion, the socio-economic conditions of Maharashtra in the 19th century were deeply rooted in the caste system, with agriculture as the backbone of the economy. Religion and superstition influenced the daily lives of the people, and women and lower castes faced immense social injustices. While Western education and ideas started to influence the urban elite, the larger part of the population remained bound by traditional practices. This period, therefore, was one of both continuity and slow transformation.